Information-fueled.
Opinion-driven.
This is Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis.
And so, my fellow Americans,
we talk news.
8:07. Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends, along with KGB, Joan Jones.
Should we don our gear this morning?
No.
No, we should. Here we go. There it is.
Everybody's wearing their eye patches.
You got to give me the signal.
You know what the great thing?
I'm sorry, the bat signal.
You know what the great thing is, though, is for you folks listening on the radio, Joan and KGB have put on their honorary eye patches in my honor.
Yeah.
Yariki matey.
You know what's clear though is that my eye patch isn't scaring anyone.
I can feel your anger.
I mean, good Lord, people on the super text line. So I can't win for losing today.
I don't think you're a Sith Lord.
So somebody said, I've been called a lot worse. Somebody said,
that's not the point.
Dan, you do the same things that Phil Williams is doing. You politicize everything. I'm a talk show host, and that's kind of what we do. Is we talk about politics. A journalist, an investigative journalist like Phil at Channel 5, he is supposed to be right down the line. He's supposed to be, not left, not right, middle of the line, equal opportunity investigator. And I have received so much
I can feel your anger.
Hate just because I said that Phil's a great journalist.
Can't you find any pirate hate?
Embrace the power of the dark side.
Sure.
I can feel your anger.
And so and here's the thing, and you can hate me or whatever if you know what's so interesting about this whole thing is that I literally spent 2 monologues today in the 6 o'clock and then at the end of the 7 talking about how, I believe that, Phil over there, Channel 5, who has been on this show before, I think that he is giving in to his TDS. I do. And I think that unfortunately he's going to start making mistakes. He had to pull down one of the tweets or one of the posts that he made on X last night. I guess you said that KGB, did you say that he posted that where he was talking about how more people were going to die because Donald Trump offered buyouts to all federal employees? That was a little bit after the
it was
crash.
Very quick. It was probably like, I want to, let's see.
And he pulled it down.
It was posted at 10:43 p.m., so a couple hours fresh. It was still fresh.
Oh, very fresh. And then he pulled it down, and he did explain. People thought that I was politicizing it or whatever, and so that's fine. But I can't win for losing because I very nicely said I think Phil is giving in to his TDS. And man, the super text line is just.
I can feel your anger.
So my eye patch clearly is not scaring people on the super text line.
I just noticed something about his profile. Phil Williams' profile on Twitter, on X, says, defending democracy, confronting hate. Those are the words that are used by people on the left.
Oh, that's Jim Acosta.
Oh, yeah.
That
exactly.
Defending democracy and confronting hate. Those are almost like at this point buzzwords.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
They are.
Yeah. So whatever.
I mean, it just tells you a lot when you read somebody's profile. It sets you up for what you're about to explore on their timeline.
Well, yeah, because they're always talking about, oh my God, Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. And then the left, we're defending democracy, right? So ultimately, as we all now know, and now people are going after us about ABC. Stand by on that. So now we have, people saying that it's up to them to defend democracy when we find out that over the past 4 years, we have had democracy that has been threatened by people like Joe Biden and the Democrats on the left with all of their lawfare. And so, I mean, trying to kick Donald Trump off the ballot in all of those different states, trying to take him out through all of the investigations. I mean, I could go on and on, but I mean, who wants to go backwards? Be honest with you. And so to me, you're right, Joan. Those are like buzzwords. Anybody who says that they are defending democracy, at least to me, I think those are buzzwords for we hate Donald Trump. That we've got Trump derangement syndrome, because that's the buzz phrase of MSNBC. That's the buzz phrase of CNN. And when you see all those people on CNN, those 5, 6, 7 people panels on CNN, and all of them are bashing Donald Trump, they'll say that they're doing it in the name of defending democracy.
Absolutely.
But in reality, they are destroying democracy because of what they tried to do to Donald Trump. Not to mention the fact that they lied to us for years about any number of things, including, of course, the border being secure. It's all just a bunch of BS. So if you're out there and you've got part of your Twitter handle or X, whatever, is defending a democracy, well, how about defending the truth? If you're a journalist, you should be defending the truth. And I would like to know what truth people who say that they're defending democracy, I would like to know what truth they're actually defending, because there's been a lot of lies that have been told the last 4 years from that side of the aisle. So how about instead of defending democracy, and I'm air quoting, how about instead of defending democracy, how about you just go out and you print the truth? How about that? Because it looks like democracy won in the end, because Donald Trump won, despite all of the lawfare that all of these democracy defenders threw at him. He won. And they just can't get over it. They are still ticked off. They're not going to stop.
Here's another post from Phil Williams. He posted this 23 hours ago. He reposted somebody else's post, and Phil Williams commented, and guess who he's talking about? Rooting for the dictator that he and other Christian nationalists have called for, a president who answers to no one. I mean, it's
really
indisputable. Yeah.
Can somebody, okay, well, now I'm pissed off, because a real journalist, and he purports to be a real journalist. If he is a real journalist, he should not be showing political bias in either direction. Am I wrong on that, or am I right on that?
No, you're right.
It's been years since I've been a journalist. But if I was, I would be looking for the truth and not calling the president of the United States, who, by the way, millions of people in this state voted for. So I just don't know what the end game is for somebody like Phil Williams. Read that one more time, Joan, if you would.
Sure.
Calling President Trump a dictator?
Rooting for the dictator that he and other Christian nationalists have called for, a president who answers to no one. Yeah. And it's in response to...
That doesn't sound like unbiased to me. You're supposed to be unbiased.
Somebody had posted the Trump administration's response to rogue judges attempting to thwart its lawful actions will be the single biggest litmus test for whether the administration succeeds. Charles Haywood responded, "This is exactly right. Sovereign is he who decides the state of exception, and Trump had better establish fast that he is sovereign over the executive branch." And that's when Phil Williams had posted what he posted.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I mean, listen, I don't tell anybody how to do their job. And if Channel 5 wants to have an investigative journalist who is clearly biased, then that's on them. And some, whiny morning show talk show host on WTN is not going to get anybody to change their mind. But I think that just, again, as a guy who I guess was a fan of Phil Williams, I don't know what happened. What happens to these folks? Like, you can be anti-Trump, but if you want to be open about it, then just be open that you're no longer an unbiased journalist. You're a biased journalist, which means that you're not a journalist. Then you're a narrative peddler, right? I mean, I think I'm going down the right road.
But you know what? I watch a lot of the local news.
Yeah.
I can't name a channel here that doesn't fully embrace one side of the argument and only one side of the argument.
Kevin says, "We tried to tell you, Dan."
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of I told you so's.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust your bubble.
Thank you for reading that, Joan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scrolling down his Twitter, just seeing if there's any change of if he doesn't talk about Trump. He talks about Trump, I would say 98% of his tweets. It's
okay.
It's unfortunate, I guess.
Another one bites the dust.
Journalists, I just feel like they just can't get off the Trump train. They can't bring in a new topic. It has to be something negative about Trump now.
Well, and even with this whole obsession that he's got over, white nationalists, I haven't seen them, but I would assume that part of that narrative is directed at Trump. I would assume, and I think that there's a lot of folks. I would like to see Phil do an expose on Tren de Aragua, MS-13. Here in Tennessee. That's what I would love to see, because I think that they are a major threat. And you know what? Maybe he will at some point. But let's see. Statman, thank you for waking up to the fact that Phil Williams is a lefty apologist. Phil Williams is Tennessee's Jim Acosta. I'm not good. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go that far yet, but whatever. I don't even know why. Why are we giving this so much airtime? Joan? KGB?
Yeah. Stop it.
It's kind of your fault.
Yeah, right?
Is it my fault?
You keep going back to it.
It's the liberal virus. Yeah.
It seems that it's kind of spread. Like it started in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
And it leaked all over the country.
Yeah.
It just leaked.
Well, it's too bad. Now I'm looking at my texts on my phone. I'm hearing from people that I haven't heard from in forever. So anyway, there you go. Man, it's kind of a sad day.
Yeah.
It's a sad day.
Sorry.
Listen, it's okay. You know what? Maybe I am not afraid to admit that I'm wrong. And I just think that it's been probably a more recent debate. I had Phil on a year ago. Something happened, and I don't know what it is. A lot of good journalists. Keith Olbermann is another one. We talked about him earlier, right?
He is honest. No, he's been a crazy lefty since Bush, but he was very harsh on Bush. But then when it comes to Trump, he becomes an awful human being. Keith Olbermann is. That's what it is. That's what
with Trump derangement syndrome. It's people do. They become awful human beings.
Yeah, but Keith is another level of cruel. Someone that doesn't agree with him, even in the slightest.
Right.
He goes off, curses at them, calls them names, wants them arrested. You name it.
Wow.
I've lost 2 family members, a friend, and I don't know. I haven't lost any listeners, I don't think. But to Trump derangement syndrome. Trump derangement syndrome, to be honest with you, I think it actually helps listenership to all of us, because those hate listeners, they always listen, and
I can feel your anger.
They always text in 615-737-9986.
Lost my BFF.
You did?
From high school. Mm-hmm.
Did you really?
Yeah.
We should do a Joan origin story. You want to talk about that at 35? Because I am way late.
Yeah, sure.
I'll tell you, my KGB, you lose anyone because of TDS?
I've managed to keep friends through this.
Attaboy.
There you go.
I can't say the same thing. I've lost 2 family members, only one of which I can talk about.
I'll tell a story of how I've kept them, though.
All right. You want to do that at 8:35?
I'll talk about how I managed to keep them, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll all do that at 8:35. By the way, Brian Wilson, if you're listening, Brian asked if he wants to be joining us at 8:35. Yeah, let's talk to Brian Wilson as well. So we'll talk about all that and so much more. 8:21. By the way, I'm way late. Blame the eye patch. Listen, Joan.
Yeah.
And KGB and all the important people that I hope are not listening. It's the eye patch.
Of course.
I'm on pirate time today. That's what it is.
You've been walking too many planks.
You know what? I want to say something and I can't, because I would just get in so much trouble. Going to move on. 8:21 on Super Talk.
But we like it when you get in trouble.
Yeah, you do, because you guys want me to get suspended so that you guys can just have a fun day.
Oh, we'll have a party.
A fun day.
Party.
I'm bringing pizza.
Yeah. That's exactly
Any pizza
right.
places open at 3 a.m.?
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.